tonight on the final Thursday edition of TNA Impact. As TNA gets ready to go live, Hulk Hogan and Abyss hype up the match with Ric Flair and AJ Styles. Plus, Jeff Jarrett goes from flipping burgers to cleaning out restrooms, and Mick Foley goes to an etiquette class. Right here, right now, it's your TNA Impact review from Big Al and the Kick-Ass Wrestling Show.
What you want, what you want.
Off the night with Ric Flair and AJ Styles coming out and then getting confronted by Abyss and Hulk Hogan. Nothing really went down. They exchanged some wisecracks, and then out of nowhere, Eric Bischoff comes out to set up a four-way match at the end of the show. In the main event, AJ has to defend his title in a four-way match against the Pope, Desmond Wolfe, and Abyss. You would think this match for the world title would be more important than that, tag match that they have going on this coming Monday. But I guess not, and they just kind of threw it together. I didn't really like that, how they just threw the main event together there. It would have been a great main event, but it didn't really make any sense. Why was Bischoff making that main event? What was, Desmond Wolfe is getting thrown in there, the Pope. I don't understand what's Bischoff's agenda here. And he's running all over the place. He's going at Jarrett. We'll get to that in a second. But it doesn't make any sense. And TNA is a little crazy. It's a little wild. Things are just going on left, right, up and down. Throughout the show, people are trying to convince Hulk Hogan that he shouldn't be wrestling. He should just be hanging out in the back. Kurt Angle, Bubba the Love Sponge came out, Eric Bischoff, Abyss himself. They were all trying to convince Hogan not to wrestle anymore. But Hogan doesn't look like he's going to listen to him, and he is going to lace it up and go at it with Abyss, taking on AJ and Ric Flair this Monday. A lot of these stories, they don't really seem to make sense. Hogan seemed to say, I have to wrestle. I don't have a choice. Why? He didn't really explain why, other than saying, I have to do it for TNA or TNA shot. So I guess if Hogan doesn't wrestle, TNA doesn't have a chance. They're in big trouble then, because Hogan's best years are behind him. And I'm a big Hogan fan. If you guys know me, I'm a big Hulkamaniac. So you're not going to find bigger supporters of Hogan than Big Al. But, he doesn't need to be wrestling. Anyway, I don't know what that storyline was about. At the very end, they tried to jump Abyss after that four-way match when AJ Styles beat De Niro with a figure four after Flair bashed his ankle in with the chair. AJ and Flair are a good little combination together. And Hulk Hogan came out. He started busting people up. He took the baseball bat with the barbed wire, and he busted Flair up pretty good. So Flair was bleeding all over the place. The crimson mask all over his face. That was pretty good to see. So Hogan bled 1 week, Flair bled the next week, and now we're going to have that big match, the tag match, Flair and Hogan returning to the ring. I think the promo for that tag match has been done well. I was talking with TNA TJ about this. It really should have just been Flair and Hogan. If they really just wanted to bring back Hogan for this match, they could have done that with just him and Ric Flair and set it up as a Legends, kicking things off for TNA. I would have went for that. This tag match is a little mixed. I know, Flair and Hogan are old. They can't really go. So they're going to rely on AJ and Abyss to kind of pick up the slack for them. But I still would have liked to see just the Legends. I think they could have sold that main event on Monday by themselves. So, I thought the ending was good. And overall, I'm a big Hogan fan. I like what Hogan's doing. I like this storyline. I like the tag match. So that has been a positive each week, at least for me, on Impact. And I think Abyss's character is great. And I think every week it's getting a little bit better. So I like what Abyss is doing. I have no complaints as far as that storyline goes. I do, however, have complaints about what they're doing with Jeff Jarrett. I know Jeff Jarrett had to start at the bottom because Eric Bischoff said so. I don't really understand why he has to start at the bottom other than, Eric Bischoff said so. I guess Bischoff is completely just out to get Jarrett and Foley and a couple of these guys for really no reason. I guess he's just the evil boss. That's not enough for me. I'd like to see a little bit more reasoning for why Bischoff is doing what he's doing, but either way, he's after Jarrett. This week, he made Jarrett clean out a bathroom, and then he had a impromptu match with Val Venus, Sean Morley, who attacked him, and got a pinfall in the bathroom, and Jarrett was kicking out, and it was a mess. That was kind of silly. And then Jarrett had a match with Tomko, and he beat Tomko. And that's good, because I don't want to see Tomko get much attention. He's a jobber, so I don't want to see too much of him. So it's good that Jarrett beat him. But what is going on with Jarrett and the direction And with Bischoff, he's just the evil boss. He just wants to screw people. He's setting up matches. For what reason? That's something I really don't care for so much. Next thing that I want to talk about, what are they doing with Mick Foley? Mick Foley had this little, these skits where he's going around, he's at a etiquette school, and they're trying to teach him how to have etiquette, and, telling him he should cut his hair, and he's going around with a book on his head and making wisecracks. It was okay, but we're a far cry from the days where Mick Foley was doing Mankind. Those were promos. That was how you get a character over. This was just silly stuff, kind of filling up the 2 hours of Impact. I don't like what they're doing with Foley, and I don't get it. And again, Bischoff's just sending them around just to do it. So I don't like that. I don't know where they're going. So the Impact grade. Tonight, I liked some of the things that happened. The last match at the end was okay, although it was relatively quick. And it wasn't, it was thrown together. I didn't like the fact that they just threw a title match out there. It was so easy. 4 guys just get a shot, I didn't really care for that. The wrestling was mediocre at best, but I did like the tag storyline a lot. I thought the whole Abyss Hogan, AJ, and Flair thing is pretty over. I like that the Pope is back out there. And, I liked some of the Jarrett stuff, although I don't understand, why Bischoff is so out to get him. So some of that stuff was good. Some of the stuff that's bad, it's all over the place. What's the big picture angle? What's going on here? Is Hogan in charge with Bischoff? Is that what's going on? Do they like certain people? They hate certain people? Are they having problems? There's no big picture here. And until they have a big picture angle, Impact's going to keep getting 1.2, 1.3 every week. So I'm waiting on that. Overall, tonight was a better show, although a lot of it was silly. The bathroom match was silly. They didn't really have any quality matches. So I think it was a little better than last week, but not much. So I'm going to give tonight's TNA Impact a C-. Okay? And I think that's a fair grade. You could say this was a C show, at best maybe a C+, and I could even see how you might want to give this show a D+. Anything out of that range, and you're probably just, a little too happy with TNA, or you're a little too happy with, the WWE, and you're hating on TNA. I think, anywhere from a C to a low D, a high D, is about a fair grade for this Impact. So I'm going to give it a C-. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this Monday, TNA Impact is going head-to-head with Monday Night Raw for only the second time. They're going to be doing it every week. We're going to be back here on the Kick-Ass Wrestling Show. We're going to grade Raw, we're going to grade Impact, and we're going to tell you who won the first edition of the new Monday Night Wars. So stay with us, subscribe to us on YouTube, and come back and see us. Thank you for joining us. I'm Big Al. This has been your TNA Impact Report. Good night.
Come on.